Oh my God, it just started recording. Good morning, and welcome back to the Teacher's Wake Up Call. Ooh, okay, I'll just put that here. Hi. It's sweater weather. It's scarf and hoodie weather. It's that time of year where you want to get cozy and you don't want to leave your bed, and yet you are here at school. I'm sure I'm not the only one who has that feeling around this time of year. But everything's crisp, everything's cool. You know, I'm actually happy in my classroom now because I am not dying of heat. It is brilliant. Oh, so what am I going to talk about this morning? I started an anime club. An after-school anime club, where students get to watch 2 episodes of either a series they're familiar with or a new series that they never heard about. And my goal with that club, it's once a week. So considering that we're only there for an hour, it's not like we can binge watch a series. I mean, you could speed run maybe 3 or 4 episodes, but I'm not there for that. No, if I started this little, no, I don't want to say I started. There was already a teacher here at this school who has an anime club and manga club, but it's at lunch, and I don't have a lot of spares at lunch. And I mean, I like to eat at lunch, so doing activities at lunchtime is sometimes hard. And that I always knew that. I remember last year sacrificing. It was a willing sacrifice. I often had lunch in my classroom, and students would come in and they would chill, or they would do work, or they would do activities, and I was okay with that from a professional, syndical, syndical, union point of view. It is excessively important, crucially important, that teachers have a lunchtime and they're not working through their lunchtime. That doesn't mean that teachers aren't working at all. Many of them do, because they don't want to either work at home, or they don't have time during the day to do their work, so they're catching up at lunchtime. So it's not like teachers aren't working. They are working. But it is very important to understand that they are allowed a break. And if a teacher says, no, I can't have a club at lunchtime, it's their prerogative. They're allowed to do that. Just like they're allowed to give tutorials and remediation at lunch, even though some aren't. It doesn't mean that the ones that aren't giving tutorials at lunch are bad teachers. They're just giving it at a different time. That being said, back to the anime club. So I tossed my name out. It's like, yeah, I would like to run an anime club. And it was accepted. Yay! Where do I go from there? So I decided that I would, first of all, I would ask all the students on the first day. I said, okay, let me ask you questions. Let me get to know you, and let's discuss what your favorite animes are. And the list is varied. There were a couple of kids who liked Naruto. A lot of them like Jujutsu Kaisen. There's one girl who is totally into anime. I think she saw everything. And she's very keen. And then what I basically did the first time we actually watched anime is that I showed them, and I was fairly certain that no one had seen them. I mean, at least their generation. We watched Ranma half, or one half, or however you want to call it. Not the Netflix version, wasn't out yet. I showed them the original, because I have the DVDs. And yes, I am that old. I have the DVDs. And back in the day, we used to watch them on VHS tape. That's how old I am. So I showed them Ranma, and they liked it. And one of them actually found a way to watch the rest of them online, and then asked me, "Why did that figure skater kiss Ranma?" You know, it's moments like that. That's my goal. My goal with that club is to introduce them to perhaps some animes that they've never watched before, and it will expand their horizon. It's kind of like teaching. You know, I'm not expecting you to become a French specialist, but I'm teaching you the basics. And who knows? Maybe one day you will say, you know what, I'm going to become a French second language teacher. I am loving French, and I am going to become a French teacher. So, yes, it's a pipe dream. It's you know, I've had student teachers before in French second language, but none of them were my students or previous students. They were students from the French system, and they were doing their field work, they were doing their stage, not so they can work in an English school, but so they can work in the French system in what they call accueil groups, which are basically comprised of people who have newly arrived to Quebec, immigrants who have zero knowledge in French, and they literally start from scratch. So you might have in the same class a 13-year-old, 16-year-old, and they're all in the same like grade 1 level of French. And that's the other thing. They teach grade 1. They don't teach the DELF system, which could be very beneficial, but that's just my opinion. That's just my take. So what animes have we watched so far? It's been 4 weeks. The first week was just to get to know them. We watched Ranma. Then we watched campfire cooking with my otherworldly skill. You know what? I've got issues with anime titles that are about a paragraph long. No, I don't. So it's a guy who's in a game. It's very much isekai. So it's a guy in this game, in this other world, in this, you know, medieval fantasy world, and his skill is to conjure up something from like a modern day Amazon type of online vendor, and he then cooks with that. He makes a dish with that. So it's very cute, it's very fun, it's amusing. I liked it. It was the first time I was watching it. For like a lot of the students, it was the first time watching it too. Ranma was definitely the first time. And yesterday, and I'm going to massacre because I never know how to pronounce it properly. Hayaku, you know, the volleyball one. The volleyball one. I always mispronounce it. But I never watched it. I never, ever watched it. And I can see why people are fans of that series. The two leads, and of course now I forgot the names because I'm horrible with names, but the dark-haired one, you know, giving off that I'm the best energy, but being humbled every now and again, loving it. And the young with the ginger, he's got like reddish blonde hair, dirty blonde hair. He's got spunk, he's got energy. I love it. It's a different energy from the other guy, but yeah, I'm horrible with names. I am horrible with names. It took me like literally a month and a half to learn my students' names, and I'm still learning them. I still mess up and screw up. There's always at least 1 or 2 or 5 that I forget randomly in class. But I'm improving. I'm improving. So yeah, so Anime Club, it's a thing. I'm running it. 2 episodes per meeting, just enough to whet their appetite and have them like maybe watch more. A kid asked me if they could watch an entire series. Like, really? we're going to spend every single week watching a series. We can't find a series that everybody will love. And I made it clear from the get-go. We're not binge watching a series unless we want to stay here in the evening, but that's not going to happen. Or maybe it could happen, but yeah, I'm not interested in doing that. I don't have that time to say like, okay, on a Friday night, we're going to stay after school until 9 p.m. and we're going to watch like 6 episodes of X. What if people don't want to watch it? You know? Anywho, it's a thought. On that awesome note, folks, have yourselves a lovely day.